Welcome back everyone. So at the moment I'm in the New Forest, so I've been here for a couple of days. So I've got a really good setup. I'm with a camper van and I've bought 3 bikes. So I've got my trail bike, mountain bike here, and I've also got my road bike. I'll tuck it, can you see that, just tucked in behind the van. I've also bought my Brompton. So that's 3 bikes, so probably a bit overkill. But the reason that I've bought my Brompton is because I've been having a lot of questions about the saddle, the Brooks saddle. So I'm trying to be efficient here. While I'm here in these amazing surroundings in the New Forest, I am going to do a review on the Brooks saddle. So is it worth getting a Brooks saddle for your Brompton? So just to let you know, I am actually dropping another video next week about going into a bit more detail about the New Forest. It's amazing here, and like I said, I'm going to be doing some really good trails in here so that you can explore the New Forest as well. If you haven't been here already, it's well worth a visit. But back to the Brompton, let's get going on the review of the Brooks saddle. So first, just a bit of background about Brooks saddle. So here's the bike in its folded up form, and this particular model is the B17 Brooks saddle, and it's been made in England since the 1880s, I think, and they've got a reputation of producing really high quality saddles. So the thing is about a Brooks saddle, they're expensive, they're a premium product, and they seem to get people's emotions up. That some people really like them, some people don't think they're worth the money. So let's delve into this a bit deeper. So this particular model is the B17, one of their most popular models. They do other versions which has got some suspension springs. They do other models of seat which are more lightweight, but this is the classic model. So some people argue that it's a bit heavy, and that is the case compared to the normal seat or the stock seat that came with the Brompton. It's significantly heavier. But to be honest, these bikes are made for commuting. So you're not, unless you're a speed demon or a speed merchant, it doesn't really matter that it's a few 100 grams heavier. But let's point out some of these key features. I think overall, the first thing that strikes you is the quality. Now, there are some people that have said that the quality seems to have dropped in recent years, but I haven't noticed that at all. This feels like a premium product, and it feels like it's going to last a long time. So if we look at some of the particular details, you've got the nice Brooks emblem there, emblazoned it into the leather, so that's Brooks B17, and that's a really nice touch. What you've also got, these metal rivets at the back. They are fixed onto the frame underneath and also on the front here. Moving around, what you've got is this really nice touch, is the Brooks emblem there on a metal label that's fixed onto the seat, so that's a really nice touch. And you've also got these attachments. If you want a toolkit, for example, being a Brooks, that's going to be expensive. And if you go underneath, I don't know whether you can see that, you can see it's a pretty standard fixing post that can fix to your Brompton. So I've had this on for about a year now. The sun's come out, so I'll just move it into the sun so you can get a better look. I think one of the main things that attracted to me is not just the quality, but the aesthetics. This thing looks really nice. Then people have actually stopped and said, hey, that's a nice looking seat that you've got on your bike, which is not something you hear very often, is it? So I think we'll unfold this now just so that we can see it all from a different angle. One or two extra points here. It's got 3 ventilation holes here to keep you cool when you're cycling. And again, this leather, I've had this for about a year. So people have mentioned that it takes time to break these in. It didn't take too long for me. I mean, most people can commute fairly short distances on the Brompton, so it's never been an issue. But over time, definitely it has moulded more and become even more comfortable. So after a year of using this, it's probably one of the most comfortable saddles that I've ever used. If we just go under here, you can see a bit more the frame here that fixes onto the bike, nice and sturdy. And what you've actually got here is this adjustment screw. The leather's malleable, it does stretch slightly over time, so you can adjust the tension to keep it comfortable to you. So in terms of looking after your saddle, you know, it's obviously best not to leave it out in the rain, torrential rain, but on my other bike I've had a Brook saddle for over 10 years now, and I probably haven't looked after it as well as I should, but after 10 years it's still in excellent condition. So they do need a bit more care, but if you look after them, they will last a long time. Now, of course, Brooks do their own brand of wax, so you can wax the leather. Of course, being Brooks, it will be reassuringly expensive, but there are plenty of other leather waxes you can use instead of the Brooks. So I use this probably once a month. I'll re-wax this. So if you look online, you'll get a lot of very strong opinions on these saddles. Some people like them, some people say they're the best thing since sliced bread, and other people think they're overpriced, heavy, and not worth it. So all I can do is give you my opinion. So as I mentioned, I've been using this saddle for a year. It's by far the most comfortable saddle I own. It's heavier than the normal saddle, but you know, you don't notice a couple of 100 grams unless you really are going for speed, which most people aren't on a Brompton. But the most important thing as well, it's got that feel of quality. Like many good things, it's got that X factor. So I would never go back to using a regular saddle on my Brompton. I will always go with the Brooks. So, and if I was going to give this a score, I would give it an A. And the final thing I really like about these Brooks saddles is the aesthetics. They're unique, and you can't mistake a Brooks saddle for anything else. So I, for one, will not be changing back to a regular saddle anytime soon. Some of you might comment, is it worth it? Is £100 worth it for a saddle, the Brooks saddle? Well, the way I look at it is my other one has lasted 10 years already. So that's £10 a year. So for me, that's well worth it. And if you look after it better than that and wax it, it will probably last for 20 years. I can see that happening if you look after it really carefully. So I think, compared to some of the critics, that they're actually really good value for money. So there it is. They are my positive thoughts about a Brooks saddle. So should you get one, I can't speak for your particular circumstances, but for me it's been definitely worth it. I really enjoy the Brooks saddle. So I've got lots to do around the camp. I'm going to cook some food, so if any of you have got time, I'm going to feel myself pottering around, so feel free to join me. And I think I mentioned next week I'll be dropping another video a bit more about this amazing landscape in the New Forest, and I'll be riding through it, so join me next week as well. As always, I hope you enjoyed these videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you do enjoy these, and watch out next week for the next Bikeonomic video. Thanks for watching.